Hey everybody, it's Robbie. Welcome to September's episode of COMUSO's Listening Party podcast, The Best Bits. Now, this month's theme was money, and without giving too much away about these songs, they did all seem to have something in common with each other, and that was great endings. Now, talking about endings, make sure you stick around to the very end of this podcast, as there's going to be some great announcements that you're going to want to hear. Anyway, let's get to it.
I know, but the thing is, the doctor said if I keep putting cream on it, after about a week, it should die down. What did you say? We're live? We're not live. People can hear me? People heard me talking? Oh, right. Well, opening up is Richard Bawden, everybody. Richard.
My take on money was working and having to work for your money and the kind of drudgery of a 9-to-5 job. My challenge was making the music sound like drudgery, but kind of interesting as well, which was quite a challenge, but hopefully one that I've met. And it's called End of Play, signifying, when you start working, you stop playing.
It's laden with emotion. The highlight for me is the guitar, both the clean and the dirty. I really like that clean guitar at the beginning. And I kind of thought, yeah, you've captured the feeling of drudgery that you're trying to convey. And at the end, I found myself asking the question, what would perhaps a high intelligent life form make of this? If that life form suddenly arrived on Earth and they listened to it, surely they'd conclude that we've got something wrong. We go about our day-to-day business at times. And that's it, but very well done.
Did you add any saturation or distortion to your voice, or was it just overloading the mic?
No, it was just overloading the mic.
Yeah, it works, that kind of distorting. It had a guitar solo in it, which was fantastic. I loved the note choices. The emotion continued through the solo, which was lovely. It's lovely to hear.
A real sort of nice moody feel to begin with, and the way it just sort of built up. I like the subject matter. Depressingly, it sort of rings true to me.
Everybody shut up. Next up is Mark. And Mark, this is your best song submission to date. Take it away.
Yeah, so I came up with kind of a melody idea and a repeatable lyric element, and the idea for a song just around the worries of rich people. I finally felt like I'm flexing the muscle of being able to do multiple tracks. In the end, I felt like a chef throwing things into a stew.
It would be a shame the hell spits in a caviar. It would be a shame if they catch us in the cookie jar.
Mark, your recording techniques are coming on brilliantly. Mm-hmm. Over the past couple of months, and that's just amazing. It was so clean, great track, loved it.
Yeah, the solo was nice and crisp. With that came through, it had a great melody to it, and I think it suited the track as well. It was very clever lyric writing, great hook.
And also that snare hit just before everything came in. I was just like, yeah. Everything I like is happening. Really good, man. Really, really, really loved it.
The lyrics, the story of it was brilliant. It was lovely and political, but not political.
Next up is Nigel Davis, and he's going for a double yoke. That's what it says here. I think that's a thing.
I was going for an opening track, so I wanted there to be some ambience. Working on my story writing, so I wanted to sort of present what the story was going to be for the album, hypothetical album. It could be sort of autobiographical around different experiences that I've had. This theme being money, so this is all tied into how money has shaped my experiences and how they've shaped who I am.
Relationship with money and how it's had no glow.
that was so upfront and clean and punchy. Yeah, bravo. Well done.
Absolutely captivating lyric content. Loved it. Yeah, the storytelling, superb. We really sort of felt that, and just engaging. You just wanted to hear that. So I was reading ahead of it, so I was going to, the beautiful story, beautiful stuff.
I really enjoyed the unambiguous lyrics and the percussion as well. I thought that was great. It's great storytelling. The electric piano, when it comes in, is used to great effect. It's one of the highlights of the track. I think overall it's a very, very skilled production. And at the end, I love the falling away of instruments and that kind of majestic string element that we've brought into the production. It kind of suggested to me beauty amongst the difficulties of life.
And again, it's just got this great feel about it, which all the songs so far just had just a good feel about them. So quality. I'm getting a bit nervous, but yeah, great.
Me too.
It's time to get funky with Pete Youngman, bringing the funky bass, the funk.
Right, okay, yeah. Yeah, cool. I've never been particularly good at writing to order, and I always struggle with lyrics. So it's like, I've had lots of failed attempts at this one, and actually found a couple of the first two lines of the song I'd had written down for a few months. It's like your notebook sort of thing. I thought, yeah, that can work with the money theme. So I've added loads of lyrics, and suddenly, from having a sort of the idea of doing the money theme, the lyrics flowed quite well for me. So it's actually very wordy for me. I'm usually about sort of 8 lines and done.
Oh, I love the bass. Reminded me very much of one of my favourite bass players, actually. There's a young chap called Tim Lacey. It was very, very like the way you play. It really, really grooved.
You say you're not that confident with the lyrics, but you did a great job of that. The lyrics flow with ease and they weave in amongst that driving bass line, which is excellent. It's kind of, I forget his name, the Duran Duran bass player.
John Taylor.
John Taylor, yeah. Not unlike John Taylor, but very 80s. You've got much to say in this song, despite you saying that lyrics are not your strong point. And I think that keeps the listener really engaged. Overall, what a great groove.
Yeah, you should be more confident with those vocals, B. There was some really great stuff going on, especially at the end. When you mixed it up, you kind of went lower. Then you had this like kind of higher falsetto things. Good dynamic shift at the end. They should be way more confident about that, man. Push it. I'm a broken record. That's all I ever say.
Did you have the Smiths in mind when you were writing it?
Yeah, I do. I do like Smiths. Yeah, I think it's got. Yeah, I can definitely see that side of it. Indeed.
But I thought you were able to kind of talk about a darker theme, but have so much fun with the bass. It felt like a real chirpy song. It was like an oxymoron, where like one thing was pushing one way and one was pulling the other. It was really cleverly done in that sense. But yeah, for me, everybody's mentioned it. The bass was excellent. I love the fuzz on the bass as well. But yeah, that outro, man, that's how you write an outro for me. I thought it was really cool. As soon as you went up in your vocals, I was like, man, fuck, I can sing. Like, just
Next up is Jeg T, and you know what that means? You better listen, because there's some emotion in this one. It's a beautiful song.
I'm not sure about this one. I think the mix is good. I think the mastering I was actually really happy with. I wanted to keep it fairly stripped back, and then at the same time I wanted to add lots of different elements to it.
See me staring out at the ocean, watching the waves coming in, knowing that
Yeah, that was beautiful. It didn't need loads of production. Your emotion carried it. It was perfect. Loved it.
Nice dark selection of chords that pervades throughout this track. It's a good vocal. In fact, I think it sounds lovely. And if I may say so, I think that your vocals are going to absolutely soar in the years to come. We're all on a long musical journey, and I can hear that you're going to develop into absolutely a hot singer, really, really good singer.
When you sung Every Fort, which I think was the third verse, maybe the fourth, your voice sounded excellent for whatever note that was. So go back and re-listen to that section, because you pack a punch at that point.
Everything worked together in service of the song. Your vocals, the lyrics, and just the mood of the song. They were all kind of focused, pointed in the same direction. And that's really hard to do, I think.
The vocal patterns, there was some vocal inflections and patterns and stuff that kind of came in and doubled up, and then you would kind of throw it away and then bring it back in. I love the surpass, how you did the vocal trill at the end there. Really, really strong.
What do you get if you mix Hans Zimmer with a nightmare? Well, Jared, you better show us.
Yeah, my song's called Voices, and it's kind of when I get home from work and I'm about to go to bed. The voices are what I hear, and the music is what I feel before I fall asleep, like every night. And you'll hear like the intensity go way higher, and the mix will get like worse and worse as we go into the song.
I just want to say I absolutely loved it. It was thoroughly anxiety-inducing, and those impact hits were, as Robbie said, those impacts were really great. And I thought the voice soundscape at the beginning was brilliant as well.
To me, it's futuristic, and it kind of conjures up images of fear. And I think the use of strings communicates that feeling.
It brought up memories of Cape Fear, that kind of feel to the soundtrack to that.
I totally get what the guys are saying with the film score and game score as well. Could be used in sort of a game sequence where it's a bit daunting, maybe Resident Evil kind of waiting for something to jump out at you.
It's time for a catchy chorus. Take it away, Glenn. Take it away, my friend.
Right. What I did it in I did this song in standard first chorus, bridge chorus. Yeah, really boring, I know. And it's actually got two different time signatures, 6/8, 12/8, which caused a bit of a problem when I was laying the drum track down, because I don't know to chop and change the click. And once again, apology for my lyrics and musicianship. I think it's improving month on month, but it's still got a long way to go, as you'll hear.
And a job to the soul, there's a dream to be seen and a place to behold, where the torturous dungeon pretends to be home, as a battered young family is cut to the bone. I throw it up to the solid line, I pull right up and I see what I can see.
I'm hearing the influence of Ray Davies. That's something wonderful for anyone to say, isn't it? He's such a great songwriter. There's a strong chorus there. I observed the internal rhymes. You've got a strong voice in the sense that you have a lot to say. I enjoy that. The lyrics kind of cascaded. They just kept on coming all the time. You were never short of something to say, and that's always admirable in a writer. There's a million ideas presented here. It changes at so many junctions, and that's never more obvious than right at the end, when you do something which is quite distinct to the rest of the song, and then you skillfully return to the verse patterns. So well done. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a tremendously well executed hook, because there was a lot of content in the rest of the lyrics. It was like very kind of verbose. There was a lot going on, but it came back round to the solid line part, and I was already like singing and humming along by the second time I heard it, and I was like, that's anchoring the song tremendously well.
Stop what you're doing. It's Tim Lacey, and he's up next, so you better listen.
I didn't want to go for the challenge of just first takes and that, but it was basically that. So I apologise here and now. That's all I'm going to say.
What's the name of the song, Tim?
I forgot. I've forgotten.
Is it Hand to Mouth?
Hand to Mouth, that's it. Jesus, I'm a bit nervous about this one.
Superb, absolutely superb. I fucking love that, Tim. That was excellent. Yeah, that was really, really good. Like the chorus was so fucking catchy. That is 2 great choruses back to back, but that was so catchy, dude. The harmonies as well, excellent.
I put those on Thursday morning before I went to work. I did, because my daughter, she started at college, and I was trying to finish it Wednesday night, and she said, "Can you shut up, please? We're trying to sleep."
That was your best song, Tim. That was brilliant. You could stick that on a Phil Lynott solo album.
Yeah.
I'll mention it also knocks me out that you basically do a guitar solo through the whole song, underneath the verses and the chorus. And just as a guitarist, I don't understand how people can do that and get away with it. And it sounded awesome, and it really lifted the song.
I'm a bass player. Do you know, I did a first mix, and then I had to go and do something and came back before I submitted it, and I'd taken it out because I didn't like it, and then I went away. I thought, actually, it wasn't that bad, and that was literally what I just basically noodled through the whole track.
That spoke to me on so many levels, and it felt so effortless. It was great, man. I was having a blast listening to that, and I wrote, Tim, nothing but bangers. So I've got an album name for you right there. So you do nothing but bangers, mate, every time.
Never.
He's not wrong.
Loved it.
You're about to have a lesson in how to promo your song before it's played by Paul. Here we go.
It's not my usual emotionally led kind of composition. So where do I start? And I kind of thought, well, surely we all wonder what it would be like to not have any money worries. And I kind of thought, what if I was in monetary terms hugely successful? Or if I had, for example, won the lottery? So the first thought that came to mind that I would be calling someone up and asking them if they would like to accompany me on a trip to Vegas in a flash convertible sports car. So the lyric reflects that and says, "See, you'll come out to play." But back in the real world, there are bills to pay, the books won't balance, and your car won't start. So I conclude the trappings of serious wealth are just unimportant. Not really, but yeah, I tell myself that. Not everyone buys Monet, and with that flippant remark, I conclude, it's just art. So I love the line, it's a millionaire's dream, it's not always sunshine and ice cream. Surely everything isn't perfect in the world of a millionaire. And on the flip side, I could be drinking Chateau Lafite, which I believe costs anything from £500 to £800 a bottle. There's often an element of French culture in my compositions. My partner is French, after all, and she's beautiful. So I conclude that really, I am a millionaire just to be cheesy.
That's beautiful.
But what if I had big investments that paid a handsome regular return? My income flow would be complete. The world would be kneeling at my feet, and I'd then be in control. My wish would be my command. I would have a lifestyle so dazzling, so grand. So once again, I'm down to earth as I reflect, well, not everyone buys Monet, it's just art. I'm not a millionaire, I'm a songwriter, and so I dream. What makes a millionaire? I conclude it is the ones who dare to dream by day and put their dreams into action. This is a millionaire's dream.
Look around. Investment income flow complete. The world is kneeling at my feet.
How did you get the edge to play guitar on it?
It really reminds me of there's a band I like, Sea Power, British Sea Power, and your voice is very, very much, in that vein.
I thought it was mixed so well, Paul, like incredibly pro sound, and every new element that came in was like featured and spotlighted, but within the balance, building that big picture. And then I just wrote the word immaculate. It sounds immaculate. And your voice is very cool.
Your vocals, you have such a distinctive sound that the breath work, you don't really hear that with modern songs now. I think producers tried to sort of squash quite a lot of that and just keep the punchiness of the lyrics. So it's really nice to hear you kind of breathe in between the lyrics and kind of having that really distinctive sort of linger to your sound when you sort of drop off a note and you kind of allow some sibilance in there. And I think it's a really distinctive sound of yours. So definitely don't lose it. You know, you hear modern songs now and it's just like you're kind of losing the identity of the songwriter. And I think that creates your distinctive sound. So yeah, definitely keep that. It works for you.
Next up is Joe Fox from Apollo's Apprentice, who's recently released an album. So go check that out if you haven't already.
Oh, so this is going to be nowhere near as poetic as Paul's. I wrote one song and I hated it. So I wrote another song and absolutely hated it. So naturally, I just stuck them together. This song is called Rock and Dole. It is autobiographical. So sort of from 16 to about 18, 19, I was in a band called the Angelo Boys. We all had matching tattoos. And we were committed to this lifestyle that we created, which is called Rock and Dole. So it's based on music and being poor. I've got loads of stories, but none of them are sort of PG. So I'll leave it for 11:45 on a Saturday morning.
Let's rock that. Let's rock that. That's what they say, babe. Let's rock that. Let's rock that. That's rock and dole, babe. Waxy wings melting.
Ultra clear production.
Sounds awesome. I love the chorus in the first half of the song, and I say that's just got such a great feel about it, and just it's got lots of space, but it just cuts through. It's beautiful.
George, a really cool guitar sound. Your vocal is absolutely first class. It's got that kind of edge, the whole track, and belief that young musicians bring to the party.
Oh, that worked really well, Joe. I kind of forgot that was two songs put together. Like I thought it was until Robbie said it. I was like, oh yeah, it just gelled so well. There was, again, much like the first one, I think it was Rich, some really great synth, like textured and layered in there, some like arpeggiated notes that really rounded out the overall kind of sonic picture. Really well executed. My other main note that I'll say is, I'll just read exactly what I said. The more I hear Joe's voice, the more jealous I become.
That was quality again, Joe. It's like all your songs, you have so many different bits going on. It's like the album on Thursday is like, it's like absolutely, it's like you've got an endless supply of ideas, and like you sort of just incorporate them into your songs everywhere. I think you had, is it the bit early on in the song, the Waxy Wings bit, which I really liked. Like you did it once and that's it. And I thought, Christ, so well, I'll do a whole song around that.
Yeah, no, it's funny you said. So I think it was John Lennon who said something like, sometimes he'll do something and they're like, oh, let's do it loads and loads and loads. It's like, no, just do it once. That's enough. And it's funny you say that. There is a tip that I took from Chris Lord Alge, who did, I don't know how to pronounce his surname, but he's the producer that did the Angels and Airwaves thing, music. And there was a tip that he gave that was route everything to an auxiliary reverb and a delay.
Right.
So route every single track to one of those and then have it really low in the mix. So like almost barely perceptible, but you kind of get this feeling where everything is, it kind of creates this space.
Yeah.
Where everything is playing together.
Yeah.
And that's something that that's something I do on every track. So just have it really, really low in the mix.
Last up, we're going back in time. We're going to the 80s. John has taken us to the 80s. John Lacey, everybody.
As you know, I'm into my 80s rock music and whatnot. But I thought, well, I'm going to go for an 80s reference to the money thing of that whole kind of yuppie era. That kind of like loads of money, that whole 80s scene. So I did rope in a couple of mates. So slight collaboration with my friends Gene and Billy.
we're now in the 80s. Like we had we were there with you, man.
I never left the 80s. That's the problem.
Yep, I lived through the 80s. So I've got a story to tell or two there. You've really fulfilled your brief here. It's obvious. I was thinking about unexpected lyrics that have a real impact and take a spin on the roulette wheel, and that jumped off the page to me.
Cracking tune, clear, consistent production, great drums driving it. But for me, it was this kind of feedback thing that came in before the guitar kicked off.
Well, that's it. That's another month, another theme, another episode, all done. Congratulations, everybody who submitted a song from this month. Please do take the time to listen to the rest of the songs. They're now available on the COMUSO Player under the Money playlist, so do check that out when you can. Next month's theme's already been selected, and that is a night out. And now for the big news. The end of year awards night. Saturday, the 27th of January, we're all going to be meeting in person for the first time, and a location has been selected, and that is Southampton. So book that in your diary so you don't forget. Saturday, the 27th of January, Southampton. It's happening. More details will be announced in the coming weeks, so do keep an eye on the Writers Lounge. Talking about the Writers Lounge, I've just done a post for anybody who wants to collaborate with another artist this month. Hit the hell yeah button if you want to, and I will buddy you up with one other member to songwrite for this month. Anyway, that's enough from me. You take care, and I shall see you very soon. Bye-bye.